Alright, Monster Hunter Rise has been out on PC for a few days. I wonder what all the new hunters think.
Game is called Rise because that's what it does to your penis.
Okay then. Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, welcome one and all to a little bit of fun and a little bit of yelling. Recently, Rise released on Steam for PC users and thus opened up an entirely new way to give feedback upon the game. Steam reviews. These can be one hell of a scary place for any game. This is where you can find any given person on the internet who feels the need to express an opinion about this video game. This isn't critics or people who do this for a living. This is game reviews by average people for average people. That said, when you open it up to the average people, you also open it up to the less than average people on both sides of the spectrum. Today I'll be going over my personally curated list of weird as fuck Steam reviews, either because they are funny or just plain stupid, so strap on in and get ready for the ride. Fugan, do me a favor and read the first one.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Oh, well, in that case, I love MHR. I have it for the Switch and put hundreds of hours in it. It's a great game, but PC should have been delayed by a few months, maybe. I get to character creation, and legit, my character looks more like Picasso painting than an actual human being. His lips stretched past his leg. One leg glitched over his head. No face because it's just a stretched out mess of shapes pushed and pulled to the fourth dimension and back. It's kind of funny, actually.
Okay, look, I know, this is really sad because this is clearly a massive bug that prevents this person from enjoying the PC version of the game pretty much at all. However, that said, it is still really funny. Unfortunately, this is going to be the first point to bring up though, because the main thing this first bit of time has told us is that there are some bugs going on in the PC version of Rise, and honestly, this is definitely not the worst one, because some people are straight up unable to make a save file for the game as of this moment and just can't play. This situation is a big problem and Capcom needs to fix it as soon as possible, obviously, but I just wanted to make a point of mentioning this here before diving into a ton of Steam reviews, only for you all to wonder where the people are complaining about this literal game-breaking bug. In any case, Fugan, another.
It is a 1-year-old game, mobile port game, with the price tag at least 30% excess every AAA games I have ever seen. So don't give that it is a mobile port game bullshit. I don't care how it is on mobile port, this is PC, motherfucker. Fanboys be alarmed, I have played at least 6 different Monster Hunter titles using PS2, PSP, and 3DS, so don't tell me how it was like. The fact that this game resembles those old games is the reason why I keep calling it mobile port game, because it is shit by modern console standards. It is for a handheld gaming device from 5 years ago. It's not even a better game when compared to some old ones. It is a setback after Monster Hunter World, and the fact that so many of you willing to eat it up will only encourage companies to produce more cheaply made scrap with even higher price tag. Just look what happened to Blizzard. I am refunding this shit. UI is shit. No other words needed. The main character talks, and it bothers a lot, while constantly shouting about what you are doing, which is irritating as fuck. Graphic is fine on surface. Quite literally, they put high quality texture on everything so it looks nice at the first glance, but then you will notice the rough edges. Again, quite literally, the environment is full with cubes. Cubes everywhere. Character and monster models have more particles, so they are better, but certainly not as smooth as they were in Monster Hunter World. Of course, gameplay, it is a mobile port Monster Hunter game. If you are expecting anything other than that, I think you are confusing this game with Monster Hunter World. More restricted because the mobile port cannot handle anything better. Character motions are more robotic, fighting is less stylish, and the action is slower so it wouldn't fry the fragile mobile port hardware. Overall, it feels like go back to drive an old Nissan when you had a long time fun driving a Ferrari. And again, it has the most expensive price tag I have seen on the release. Not even a AAA game, and certainly doesn't have the quality of one. But it is almost double the price of Battlefield 2042. Don't buy this shit, at least not until it dropped to a reasonable price, which will be something like 75% off.
Alright, that was a full-on novel, but this dinkus had a lot to get off of their chest here, so let's try to take this one step at a time. Year-old game? Yep, that is completely accurate. Mobile port game? I mean, that is definitely not the right word to describe the Nintendo Switch, but close enough, I suppose. Price tag 30% excess of AAA games you have ever seen. No. Not only is that grammatically sort of weird, but it's a factual lie, unless you haven't bought a video game for literally years. Rise is the pretty standard price of everything else these days that isn't an indie game. And this is when I stop listening to you fairly, really. Sorry, not sorry, but the second you say something like that, you come off as being so petty that you are literally lying to make your point seem correct. The game is a standard price. The line about us eating games like this will make worse games with higher price tags. Just look what happened to Blizzard. Well, buddy, I hate to break it to you, but Blizzard had, and still does have, far greater issues than the things that its fan base have done. Fans supporting a game doesn't make a game become bad. A company that gets complacent because it doesn't care makes the game bad. And if you really want to bring up Blizzard, there's some other issues there too aside from the games, but that's off topic entirely. UI is shit, no other words needed. No, disagree, words needed. What are you referring to? The UI is majorly the exact same as it was in Monster Hunter World, which you clearly fanboy about within this review. Then call the Rise UI so shit it doesn't even deserve reasoning why you would call it that? The main character talks and it bothers you a lot. Turn it off. God damn, it's almost like the developers realized that this new feature was something not everyone would like, and then they put a setting in the game for you to have significant control over the frequency of these voice lines. Not only the ability to turn it on and off, but a slider to change it to less frequency but still on if you do like your voice but just don't want it as often. Use brain before complain. Yes, the graphics have lots of cubey shapes, and that's because, as you said, this is a port from the Switch. You say you want to hear nothing about it being a port, but this is specifically because it is a port. This issue is because it's a port, so yeah. Gameplay is a mobile port Monster Hunter game, restricted movements, robotic character motions, less stylish fighting, slower action. Sorry, what the fuck? Have you even played Monster Hunter Rise? Up until this point, you just look like somebody who is inexplicably really outraged about the game. But this is the point where I genuinely question if you even played the game, because Rise has ridiculously limitless mobility. Most attack animations are identical to World. The fighting is, if anything, more stylish because of what Silkbinds do, and slower action is just straight up bullshit because Rise is the fastest paced Monster Hunter combat that there is in the main series, if for no other reason than Wirefall existing as a base mechanic. Then you say some shit about cars, I guess, vroom vroom, and call the game almost double the price of Battlefield 2042, which, like the earlier statement you made about the price, is a straight up lie. The games are actually the same price. Also, apparently this person received the game for free and only played for 0.3 hours, also known as 20 minutes. They played 20 minutes of this game for free, made 2 false complaints about the price, which didn't affect them, and a ton of complaints that are either just wrong or worded poorly enough that they look wrong. Either way, I guess go play Battlefield 2042 then if you're so upset. I'm sorry.
The twins are baddies. Do they lay eggs?
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, was I not supposed to read the next one yet?
Oh, what do you think then, Fugan?
Surely, if anything, it's the males that lay the eggs.
What?
There's just something about Master Hojo that gives me mother hen vibes.
Okay, buddy, whatever you say.
Next one.
Next one.
Even worse keyboard mouse than Monster Hunter World, and that says a lot. The person that made the controls for Rise should just get fired and never get to work with PC games again.
Are the PC controls trash? Yeah, this game is nearly impossible to play on keyboard and mouse without some sort of keybind changing unless you are incredibly committed. That said, calm the fuck down. Have you ever been fired before? Ever known what it's like to walk into your stable, regular job one day, only to go home without that job the same day with little warning? I would guess probably not, because generally people who have experienced what that feels like don't go around wishing that upon others. This system needs to get better, like genuinely needs to get better before future Monster Hunter titles if they want this game to be more successful on PC. This is a given. But why do people need to word things so aggressively? Why do you feel the need to hurt someone? Say the genuine complaint, then leave, okay? Fugan.
TLDR, I found this game's controls clunky to the point of unplayable, with nothing interesting to convince me to deal with them. Some examples: I lost a tutorial mission because I had to use a trap, and there's no information on how to equip a trap, nor is it clear if you can even do that while in the field. The tutorial mission just told me to press the hotkey for the quick item menu with no traps to be seen, even though I'd picked them up as part of the tutorial. That's not the end of it. Some attacks seem to target the direction that you're facing, others the direction that the camera is facing. Controls are unresponsive. Innocent mission areas means that when you complete an objective, you're booted in about 20 seconds instead of being able to run around and explore. Another issue, on a controller. X by default consumes one of your limited potion supply. There seems to be a button that lets you select what X does, but it doesn't seem to actually work. It just brings up yet another radial menu with random stuff on it, and selecting something uses it instead of making X do the other thing, like using an infinite resource. Now, just don't press X might be useful advice, but at other times, X actually performs attacks. Anyhow, I'm apparently in the minority of people who dislike this game, but 2 hours in I found plenty of aggravation and nothing that makes me want to continue playing the game. Controls feel like the game was written 20 plus years ago, dialogue uninteresting so far. Admittedly, I didn't make it beyond the third tutorial. Combat mostly consisted of me using something called a long sword, but plays more like a very awkward, absurdly large stabbing weapon, so I'm quitting now, while I still have some potions left.
I'm not mad at you at all. You're new to Monster Hunter, right? That's the impression that I get. So if for some reason, after quitting, after the third tutorial mission, you make it to this part of this video, let me try to actually help out a bit in case you hear this. At first, I thought you were talking about keyboard and mouse controls, but you do later mention the controller, so that is the first main thing. Monster Hunter is just undeniably a more comfortable game with the controller's range of movement than a keyboard and mouse, with the only argument to the contrary really being ranged weapons aiming with a mouse is just buttery smooth. That said, if you are using controller, the button to use a potion is not a button used for any attack in the entire game unless you've rebounded, so slow your inputs down and take it one step at a time. Make sure you're hitting the buttons that you mean to. When you first play the game, it can feel like a game that you just want to spam your buttons, get as many attacks in as short a time as possible, but the reality is, the slower that you play, the longer you wait between your inputs, the better that you'll play and the better that you'll get at the game over time. The more deliberately that you press each button, the easier that the hunts get. I can't say much about this trap tutorial thing because I genuinely just don't remember that, but if you are doing a quest with a capture objective, then check the item box next to the tent in the camp during the quest. It should have a trap inside of it. To use the trap, find it on your item bar and very deliberately press that X button to make use of it. As for exploration, not being possible because of timers, you have plenty of time before killing your target to do exploring, and there are also expedition quests in the game, which are a thing that let you to just wander around infinitely without a timer whatsoever. On top of this, you found the combat uninteresting, but you used longsword. There are 13 other weapons in the game. You do accept that there could be things that you'd like other than the longsword. So my main thing here to say is, play the game some more. Unless it was literally at the point that you were pulling your hair out because you were that against it, you should try again. You did not get the Monster Hunter experience at all. Play in the training room with a few different weapons to find one that feels comfortable to you. Then continue past the third training mission. The dialogue will always feel like a video game, but I guarantee you it feels a lot less like a video game when you aren't in the genuine tutorial quest where characters have voice lines telling you what your controls do. Give the game another chance, alright? Get to actual hunting, fight real monsters, find a weapon that you actually enjoy. If you don't want to, you don't have to, no one's forcing you. But this review strikes me as someone who didn't get the right impression, rather than someone who would never like this game. This is somebody who very much could like this game if they gave it another chance, if they gave it the right chance, you know what I mean? Alright everyone, that'll just about do it for today. I've been Cotton Dinosaur, and this has been a bit of a roundup of the first few days of eccentric Steam reviews that we'd had going on since the release of Monster Hunter Rise on PC. I doubt that the reviews will stop now, so let us know if you want to see more like this in the future. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.